Hello, Seymour. Welcome to our training today on student learning objectives. From this point forward, I will refer to them simply as SLOs. For the 2017-18 school year, teachers that fall in Group 1, as defined by the Seymour Teacher Evaluation Plan, will be expected to develop and track student learning objectives. The results of the SLO will be used to inform evaluation final ratings for teachers in Group 1. One of the resources that we're developing to help our folks through this process is a Google site, and it's a Google site for evaluation. This site houses this training information, so you can refer back to it anytime that you'd like during the school year. And it also provides current copies of the evaluation plan and rubrics. Usually each year, once the school year gets underway, we meet with the evaluation committee and they finalize plans for the rubric, and then we publish them on this site. Today's training will focus primarily on the SLO template and expectations for 2017-18. When you visit the site, one of the things that you'll find there is a link, and that link goes to a template that we've established to gather all of the information about your student learning objective. The first section is demographics, and demographics are pretty straightforward. This is where we gather the basic information to know who is involved with this SLO and what's your general direction. The items specifically that you'll be asked to enter are your name, and we ask that please enter your first and last name. You'll indicate whether this is a shared SLO. One of the things that we're offering is the option for folks to work on these together. So perhaps all the second grade teachers at your school would like to have a shared SLO. That's possible. We just need to know who's involved so that we can get folks matched up to the correct SLO. The next one is grade and content. You can let us know what grade and content area you expect to focus on. Then you'll indicate your school. We have given you the option for checkboxes, so if you work for more than one school or you'll be working with your SLO across more than one school, you can check to indicate which schools will be involved with this objective. The next thing is learning objective target, and the target basically lets us know if you're going to focus on your whole class or if you're going to target a population. And that population can be from a specific period, a group of students that you work with. It's just a smaller group. Now keep in mind, the smaller the group that you select, the more apt your SLO will be or will have impact from students who perhaps leave, move in and out of the group. You'll have to substitute students in. So just be aware when you start to pick which group of students you'll be working with. We provide you the opportunity to provide additional student information. This is just where you can describe the population that you selected to base your SLO on, and then define any factors that may impact their growth. Gives you the opportunity to just share that information to give your evaluator some context for your student learning objective. You'll notice that throughout the template, you'll see asterisks. Asterisks indicate that that's a required section. All the things that are required give us the information that we need in order to use that SLO. So you won't be able to progress unless you fill this out. The next section asks you to provide information about the assessment that you're going to use to gather data on the student achievement. You'll need to provide a mastery score. This means that for students to have successfully mastered the content that you're expecting them to, what would a mastery score on that assessment be? The next section is specifically on the SLO. This is where you're building it, and it starts with baseline data. You'll need to indicate where is the group of students that you have selected, where are they starting from, what is their baseline data. In the next section, you will provide information on based on that baseline data, what would be appropriate growth or the expected outcome by the end of the instructional period? What are you shooting for those students? You'll also let us know what standards you'll be assessing and the interval of instruction. And for the interval of instruction, we give you some choices. You can choose to run this SLO for the duration of the school year. You can do it for semester 1 only. You can do it for semester 2 only. And then we give you another option of other. I will tell you that research does support that the longer students are availed of your instruction, the more growth that you're able to see. So the shorter period of time that if you select a shorter period of time, it may not be most advantageous for you. But with some of you, you teach a course for just a semester, so that is the maximum amount of time that you would have to work with that student. We ask you then to give us growth target rationales. Basically, why did you choose this target? What are you trying to accomplish? And then we ask you to provide strategies or your plan to achieve that growth target. What specifically do you plan to do to intervene or to nurture that growth over the instructional interval? One of the things that the administrative team discussed and decided would be the best path, especially in this first year, is to keep this document open for edits throughout the year. That means that as you select this is your first time to do that, and you start to see that, oh my gosh, I made an unrealistic expectation by the end. You can go back in and you can edit that. Perhaps everyone in your group moved away. You need to select another. We're going to try our best to be as flexible in this first year because we're all learning about the process and how that might work. We do ask that if there aren't any intervening types of situations, that you just don't arbitrarily adjust your learning target, because ultimately we'll be setting these and then removing that edit throughout the year. But we do want to give a few, maybe a couple of years of practice with what is a good learning target, what are good measures, how do I move students forward. The next area is, once you've selected your target and you know where you want them to be at the end, then you're going to give us information on your results and how you will rate those. What would be highly effective? Your interventions, your plan, all those things worked. If I reach this, then I would consider this SLO to have been highly effective for those students. And what would it be for effective, improvement necessary, and ineffective? And these oftentimes turn out to be percentages, where you say, a number of students reach that mastery score, a percentage of those students, those types of things. This will be an area that we will have to work with our administrative team to make sure that it is not too hard, too easy. It's is just in that right zone. So make sure that you're thinking about what would be the shades of success for your SLO. In this section, we provide you the opportunity to provide other information to inform your SLO. Anything else that you would like your evaluator to know about the process or what you've done. And remember, you'll be able to edit this throughout the year, so you can go back in and you can add things as you go. It's your chance to provide comments. In addition to the template, things that we're providing for you include a staff list. So if you're wondering, am I group 1, group 2, you can go back to the staff list and you can see where you are, because we've tried to list everyone and their job responsibilities. Basically, everyone is in group 1 except those teachers who receive IGM data from the state of Indiana, your Indiana growth model. Everybody else falls into that group 1. On the resource site, on that Google site that we provided, there are videos about SLOs. How do you write kid-friendly versions? What types of things can you do to make sure that your SLOs are actually measurable? We provide some videos to help you with that. And there's one that's a really, I think, a great overview of what SLOs are. So make sure you take time to look those over. The other thing that we provide are some strategy ideas. And I will tell you that there's a link there for Marzano's compendium of strategies. These are research-based strategies, proven to have impact on student achievement. So there are portfolios there for the various items. On the link, when you go there, you'll see topics, and you can go there, see the portfolio, you can print those out. You can work to integrate some of these ideas into your daily lessons. Other plans and tools that we provide for you, of course, we provide the template. We've given folks, it was up all last year for folks to provide input, and this year the final copy will be green, just like this PowerPoint. So if you're looking at another color, because our practice one, I want to say, was purple, but the active one for this year will be, it'll have a green theme to it. There's the evaluation plan. We will be presenting language to be added to the evaluation plan. You can expect that the impact of SLOs for non-IGM grade teachers will be similar to what their IGM. So those percentages for group 1 and 2 will, our recommendation is going to be for those to be the same percentages. Timelines will vary depending on what your interval is. Basically, I think a good recommendation is, since you have to establish that baseline data to start out, I'm thinking in sometime within the first 60 days you should be able to get a bead on where those students are and begin to develop your tool. So you should have your submission in sometime during that first 60 days of whatever your time interval is. So for example, if I'm doing the whole year, then within that first 60 days of the school year, of the first 9 weeks, I should have my SLO submitted. If I'm doing first semester, it would be the same. If I'm doing second semester, then my SLO should be submitted within the first 60 days of that third 9 weeks. When you start second semester, within that first 60 days, you should be able to get your baseline data, make your projection for what you want, what growth you want until the end of that school year. But there'll be more information that comes on timeline. That's just a general expectation. Other resources that you have available to you is the instructional guide. I'm currently in the process of updating that. When the school year starts, everyone will get an updated copy of the instructional guide with information that provides resources, expectations, links to the various resources. One link that's in there is to the curriculum library. If you're looking at some of the videos that were provided, in particular some of John Hattie's work, we have a number of his books and resources available that you can check out to learn more about making learning visible. I would like to thank you for your kind attention as we worked through the template. I will let you know that now that you have seen this overview and you are ready to start looking at some things, on the Google site there are links to videos, there's the compendium links, all of those things. Please use the remainder of your time for summer training to work through some of those things, conduct your own research, maybe even practice entering SLO on our draft form, not the green form, but that draft form is still available to you also. Alright, thanks, and we're here to help you through this process, and we'll all be learning, and hopefully we will be able to provide improved instruction and impacts student learning in a positive way. Thank you.